Protect your silence like it's sacred weaponry, because every word you release without purpose becomes ammunition lost. Sigma males don't speak to be heard. They speak when it matters. While the world drowns in oversharing, posting half-formed thoughts, chasing validation through noise, the Sigma male operates on a completely different frequency. He doesn't broadcast. He archives. He doesn't perform. He observes, taking mental notes with surgical precision, fully aware that once a truth is spoken, it can never be withdrawn or unheard. And here's the paradox: the most powerful things about a Sigma male are often the ones he never puts into words. Not because he lacks the courage or clarity, but because some truths lose their potency the moment they're spoken aloud. He knows the world isn't wired to handle unfiltered honesty, truths that shatter illusions, expose artificial connections, and strip away the layers of performance most people wear like armor. And if you're thinking this is just another poetic intro about a quiet man shrouded in mystery, think again. That's surface-level fluff. What we're diving into next are 12 raw, unspoken, and brutally honest truths that Sigma males carry like sealed letters never meant to be opened. They don't speak them, but they live them. You can feel it in their body language, in their sudden disappearances mid-conversation, in the way they let silence do what words never could. In fact, psychological studies show that high IQ introverts, many of whom fit the Sigma mold, speak less not out of fear or awkwardness, but because most conversations feel like junk mail to their mind. Add to that a high degree of emotional intelligence, and you've got a man who has decoded the rules of society, yet refuses to play by them. So if you've ever sensed that a quiet man knew far more than he revealed, it's because he does. And today, you're getting a rare glimpse into those hidden truths. No fluff, no cliches, and absolutely no recycled, mysterious loner tropes. Just the raw essence of what Sigma males never say out loud, but always mean. Let's begin. Last point is especially powerful for you Sigmas. It's raw, real, and might just explain something you've always felt but never put into words. Don't miss it. Number 1, sometimes, he creates distance just to see who'll cross the bridge. To a Sigma male, emotional distance isn't a wall, it's a filter. Think of it as a quiet stress test. He steps back, slows his replies, clears his schedule, and fades into low signal mode, not out of spite, but out of curiosity. Who notices? Who checks in? Who makes the effort when the energy isn't flowing one way? It's never punishment. It's information. He's not making announcements, posting cryptic stories, or rage-quitting group chats. He simply disappears from the radar. And in that silence, the truth surfaces. The indifferent? They exhale in relief. One less social obligation. The self-absorbed? They don't even register the shift. But the rare few, the real ones, tighten their laces and head for the invisible bridge. Because they know, his silence isn't apathy. It's a flare. And the test? Incredibly efficient. No awkward confrontations. No long-winded, "where is this going?" talks. If someone can't cross a gap, they were never crossing oceans. So he lets the connection fade, not with anger, but with acceptance. The bond dies like a plant that nobody bothered to water. Cold? Maybe. Sustainable? Absolutely. But when someone does walk that bridge, when they show up, unprompted, in the fog, that effort unlocks something sacred. They gain real access. The kind of loyalty that shows up at 3 a.m., no questions asked. No resetting trust after every bump in the road. He's not trying to make people jump through hoops. He's just refusing to waste gallons of love on people with holes in their bucket. And no, this isn't some mind game. Insecurity begs for attention. He's not begging. He's observing. If you step forward, you're in. If you don't, there's no guilt, no drama, no emotional invoice. He just updates the guest list and moves on. The result? A smaller circle. But one built on proven loyalty, not empty promises. And every person inside it? They've shown they know the way back, even when the road disappears in the fog. No begging. No games. Just truth in motion. Number 2, he pre-grieves every relationship, so goodbye never catches him off guard. For a Sigma male, every connection is beautiful but temporary, like a stunning drone shot fading as the battery drains. From the very beginning, he's already rehearsing the exit. Quietly. Internally. Strategically. It's not pessimism, it's emotional preparedness. While others are saving contacts with cute emojis, he's mentally walking through the fire drill, what to hold onto, what to leave behind, and how to walk away with grace, not chaos. He doesn't invest under the illusion of forever. He invests knowing that endings are often part of the contract. This internal rehearsal allows him to give genuine care without surrendering his emotional stability. So when the disconnect comes, whether it's ghosting, betrayal, or simply growing apart, he doesn't fall apart. He's already moved the valuables of his soul to higher ground. The irony? Because he's already accepted that everything might end, he's more present in the now. Every inside joke, every late-night drive, every shared silence feels limited edition. He gives you real attention, not because he's picturing future anniversaries, but because he's savoring this very moment. But make no mistake, the parachute is always packed. If the relationship turns toxic or simply fades, he exits without drama, no angry rants, no desperate closure texts, no social media shade. Some call it cold. He calls it clean. And he won't guilt you. You'll never get the dreaded, "we need to talk" monologue. He's already had that conversation with himself, paid the emotional dues, and balanced the equation. Ironically, this emotional self-containment sometimes confuses people and draws them back. The lack of drama unsettles them. If they return, he might give grace once, because forgiveness costs less than grudges, but the warranty on trust? Single use only. His philosophy is simple: peace is cheaper when you invest early. The loss will sting, yes, but pre-grieving shrinks the recovery time from weeks of melancholy playlists to a hot shower and clean bedsheets. Some call it lonely. He calls it optimized. Either way, he sleeps well, because in the basement of his heart, there are no unsaid words, no abandoned baggage, and no exits without a plan. Number 3, betrayals are archived, not forgotten. When someone betrays him, there's no explosion. No drama. No scene. Just a quiet mental file opened, a timestamp applied, and the offense logged like a tax receipt, carefully stored for future reference. Forgiveness might arrive later, but not blindly. He doesn't hold grudges to be petty. He holds records to be precise. Just as a good accountant doesn't toss old receipts after an audit, the Sigma male doesn't erase betrayal just because someone said sorry. That file stays secure, silent, and always accessible. He won't say, "I'll never trust you again." He'll just reduce your access. Quietly. Where once you held a master key, now you're on a limited access plan. You won't even know when it shifted, only that things feel colder. Shorter conversations. Less transparency. A sense of being held at arm's length. This isn't revenge. It's recalibration. People mistake him for cold because he walks away without theatrics. But really, he's just making decisions based on data. If your actions proved you're inconsistent, resetting the trust meter to 0 would be irrational. He treats emotions like a well-run business, compassionate, but never naive. One betrayal, and you're reclassified, limited liability contact. Still cordial, still civil, but never fully trusted again. This system keeps him stable. While others repeat cycles with the same people and the same wounds, he adapts. Not out of bitterness, but out of clarity. He doesn't guess twice. He learns once. And he never weaponizes what he knows. That betrayal you handed him? It stays sealed, unless absolutely necessary. He's not interested in gossip or revenge. Only peace, and the protection of it. You'll still get a handshake. Maybe a smile. But the vault? Permanently closed. Others forget in the name of harmony. He remembers in the name of self-respect. Not to punish. To prevent. Because if life has taught him anything, it's this: history doesn't repeat, it just rhymes. And he never skips the footnotes. Number 4, popularity is overrated, invisibility has its own VIP perks. He could chase the spotlight if he wanted to, but he knows the price: endless small talk, constant accessibility, and a never-ending queue of favors that never quite balances out. So instead, he tucks away his charisma like unspent currency and slips into the shadows, because that's where the real influence lives. Without eyes constantly on him, he moves freely. Picks projects on instinct, switches environments without explanation, and disconnects from nonsense without writing emotional exit memos. Popularity is like flying commercial: you might have status, but you're still crammed in economy, tending to everyone else's needs. Invisibility, on the other hand, is flying private. You decide when to board, who rides along, and when to land. He's not hiding, he's operating above the noise. From the sidelines, he listens. People reveal more when they think no one important is paying attention. And that intel? It's more valuable than any social applause. While the popular crowd battles to defend yesterday's hot takes and outshine last week's highlights, he prefers quiet updates over performance tweets. Then there's the favor economy: the louder your name echoes, the more people expect to borrow it. Job hookups, birthday speeches, retweets, emotional labor. But he's not running a charity or a bank. He knows every favor has hidden fees, and he's not interested in being overdrawn. Staying out of the spotlight keeps his calendar lean and his boundaries intact. If he wants to vanish for a midnight code session or disappear at dawn for a solo road trip, no one files a missing person report. His absence isn't questioned, because his presence was never announced. And if he needs to pivot, leave a toxic dynamic, abandon a dead-end project, he does it silently. No grand declarations. Just a new direction. No one's tracking his every move, and that gives him the ultimate power, the freedom to rewrite without an audience. For him, optionality isn't a buzzword, it's a lifestyle. You can't control what you can't see. And he trades in that invisibility like currency. While others chase followers, he collects leverage. Measured in time, clarity, and freedom of movement. The spotlight may glitter, but he's already calculated the maintenance cost. His VIP section isn't a stage, it's a quiet room with one exit, his own playlist, and a guest list of exactly 0. Call it stealth luxury, fewer selfies, more sovereignty, and 0 late fees on peace of mind. Number 5, loyalty runs on auto-debit. For the Sigma male, loyalty operates like an auto-renewing subscription. Miss one payment, and the service cancels automatically. There's no warning, no grace period, no click here to reactivate. One late deposit, a broken promise, a passive-aggressive jab, an eye roll disguised as humor, and the warmth vanishes. Silent. Immediate. He's not harsh. He's just efficient. In his world, respect is the non-negotiable entry fee for access to his time, energy, and emotional bandwidth. Pay it, consistently, and you're in. Miss a payment, and you're out. Simple math. He doesn't chase down overdue emotional invoices. He won't beg for kindness or reminders of basic decency. The same way your phone plan charges you at midnight or your power bill drafts automatically, he expects respect to show up on time, without request. When the cancellation hits, he doesn't erupt. He just shifts you to the prepaid plan. Minimal contact. No emotional overdraft. Strictly pay as you go. At first, you might not notice. Conversations get shorter. Invitations stop arriving. Your funny memes sit unread. That's not pettiness, it's a quiet audit. You defaulted once. He's not risking a second round. Here's the kicker. The ones who truly value the connection never miss a payment. They feel the silent contract and honor it without prompts. No pep talks. No, are we okay? Check-ins. Just natural, mutual respect. Everyone else learns the hard way. You can't Venmo loyalty after the lights go out. While some people collect friends like unused gift cards, the Sigma keeps a lean portfolio of premium subscribers, the ones who understand that respect isn't a one-time sign-up. It's a recurring charge. Keep it current, and the connection flows like fiber internet. Slip once, and the line goes dead. No tech support available. Number 6, yesterday's self is his least trusted advisor. The Sigma male doesn't idolize who he was last week, he interrogates him. While most people romanticize past decisions or cling to former identities, the Sigma views his previous self like an outdated app. Maybe it worked back then, but it's not qualified to run today's mission. He isn't sentimental about old beliefs, habits, or even goals. If they no longer serve him, they're deleted, no emotional backup, no drawn-out farewell. Each day, he performs a silent system check. Which thoughts are outdated? Which emotions are malfunctioning? Which alliances cost more than they contribute? He refines, updates, patches, and corrects leaks. While others stay loyal to the identity they built at 22, the Sigma has rebooted 5 versions of himself before breakfast, not because he's lost, but because evolution is non-negotiable. The moment he starts defending who he was instead of questioning who he's becoming, he knows he's slipping into mental autopilot, and that's where mediocrity grows. Nostalgia doesn't move him. He doesn't miss the good old days, because he remembers the blind spots, the bad boundaries, the naive optimism, the unrecognized red flags. That version of him may have smiled more, but it tolerated too much nonsense. So, while others cling to highlight reels, the Sigma audits his past for bugs. If someone keeps bringing up the past, he starts to wonder, are you allergic to progress? This mindset makes him lethal at reinvention. He'll walk away from careers, cities, even long-standing relationships, not out of instability, but out of loyalty to future growth. If it doesn't serve the man he's becoming, it doesn't make the cut. Period. He doesn't hate who he was, he simply doesn't trust him to lead anymore. That version got him here. But for the terrain ahead, he needs sharper tools, clearer vision, and updated instincts. And if tomorrow reveals that today's choices were flawed, he'll revise without ego and evolve again. For the Sigma male, self-growth isn't a weekend hobby. It's a full-time, often brutal, beautifully private system of continuous self-correction. Yesterday's version gets thanked, and quietly retired. Number 7, he profiles everyone in 30 seconds, and rarely edits the file. The Sigma male doesn't need 3 conversations or a backstory to figure you out. Within the first 30 seconds, he's already built a mental blueprint. While others are warming up with pleasantries, he's watching everything: your body language, tone, handshake, how you treat the person next to you, and what you laugh at. He's not judging to feel superior. He's scanning for alignment. People reveal more in unfiltered moments than they ever do in curated conversations. That subtle eye roll, the fake humility, the dominance flex, you think he missed it? Not a chance. Once he makes a call, it sticks. Not because he's rigid, but because time has taught him, gut instincts are rarely wrong. You might still get his courtesy and small talk, but full access? That door locks fast and only reopens with undeniable change. It's not paranoia, it's precision. He doesn't gamble on red flags just because they smiled nice later. If your vibe's off, you're quietly filed away. And if you're solid? He stores that too, and will back you without hesitation. It's strategy, not coldness. Number 8, compliments feel like IOUs, so he rarely gives them. The Sigma male doesn't hand out compliments like coupons. To him, every piece of praise can become a silent contract. Say someone's amazing today, and suddenly, they feel pressured to be amazing tomorrow. Praise can quietly morph into expectation. And he refuses to manipulate that way. He's not trying to be mysterious or cold, he's just intentional. If he compliments you, it's real. No flattery, no emotional bait, no angle. He's not playing the social currency game. He compliments growth, not noise. Mastery, not moments. Consistency, not convenience. If you crush it, he might give you a nod, a quiet, noted. That's it. No fireworks. Because once you start chasing approval, you stop acting from authenticity. And he never wants to be the reason someone performs for applause instead of purpose. His silence isn't criticism, it's respect for your autonomy. And when he does speak praise, it lands like a black belt, earned, not handed out. Number 9, competence outranks kindness in his value system. He respects kindness, but he only builds with competence. You can be the nicest person in the room, but if you can't show up when it counts, you're a liability, not a partner. The Sigma male doesn't care for feel-good energy that falls apart under pressure. He respects those who execute. Those who do what they say. Those who show receipts instead of excuses. He doesn't need compliments, pity, or a cheer squad. He needs skill, clarity, and emotional intelligence. People who bring results, not just warm vibes. Because kindness without competence leads to chaos when things get real. He won't confront you. He won't call you out. He'll simply downgrade your access. Fewer calls, fewer asks, less investment. Not because he's heartless, because he's efficient. His world runs on dependability, not just intention. On his team, the currency is capability. He doesn't care how you feel if you can't carry weight. And if that makes him seem cold, so be it. He'd rather be trusted than liked. Number 10, ghosting isn't cruelty, it's boundary automation. To the Sigma male, ghosting isn't drama, it's damage control. He doesn't vanish to hurt you. He disconnects to protect his peace. He won't explain every passive jab, every drained conversation, every gut feeling ignored. That's emotional labor he doesn't owe. When the vibe shifts, he simply logs out. No warning, no apology. People expect closure. But with him, silence is the closure. If respect wasn't mutual, the connection doesn't get a farewell, it gets deleted. This isn't immaturity. It's emotional efficiency. He won't perform fake diplomacy, laugh at sarcasm, or type out paragraphs to explain what you already sensed. When a connection starts costing more than it's worth, he ghosts. Not to be cruel, but because his boundaries run on auto. No explanation. No drama. Just gone. Number 11, every friendship comes with a silent exit strategy. Every bond he builds has an invisible backdoor, and it's not because he's paranoid. It's because he's prepared. The Sigma male knows people change. Loyalty fades. Energy shifts. And not every connection is meant to last forever. So while others hold on to friendships like sacred contracts, he treats them like architecture, built to serve a purpose, not immune to collapse. He installs quiet escape hatches early on, not because he expects to use them, but because peace should never be a hostage to obligation. He'll invest, show up, and go the extra mile for the ones who matter. But the moment a friendship turns toxic, performative, or parasitic, he doesn't debate. He exits. No scene. No closure speech. Just silence, and a door that softly clicks shut. And here's the thing, you probably won't realize it right away. You'll just notice the room feels emptier. Conversations shorter. Energy colder. That's not cruelty, it's containment. He's not interested in fixing a cracked bond with emotional glue. If it's splintering, he walks away, not to punish, but to protect his peace. Because he's already done the internal math. Already reviewed the patterns. Already seen enough to know it's time to go. People think his silence means he doesn't care. But silence, for him, is often the final act of care, the one that preserves dignity instead of dragging both parties into pointless conflict. He doesn't ghost out of spite. He leaves because staying would mean pretending. And he doesn't fake loyalty. Every friendship has an expiration date unless it's nurtured with mutual respect. He's not afraid of losing people, he's afraid of losing himself in people who no longer align with who he's becoming. He builds escape hatches not to flee, but to ensure he never feels trapped. Now pay close attention, this last point is especially powerful for you Sigmas. Number 12, love is a side effect, not the mission. For the Sigma male, love isn't a destination, it's a byproduct. A bonus. A quiet echo of a life well lived. If it shows up, great. If not, he's still moving forward. He's not designing his life around romantic fairy tales or mining his self-worth from someone else's affection. While the world is out chasing butterflies and scripting soulmate timelines, he's zeroed in on purpose, peace, and personal evolution. Love, if it comes, better arrive aligned, genuine, grounded, and without drama. If it's chaotic, conditional, or performative, he'll pass, without hesitation. That doesn't mean he's incapable of love. Far from it. When he loves, it's deep, protective, and anchored. But he will never let it become a distraction. He's watched too many people build their identity around relationships with shaky foundations, and he refuses to be one of them. The moment love starts replacing purpose, he pulls back. Romance, to him, is not the house. It's the view. Nice to have, but not what keeps the structure standing. He's not fooled by chemistry alone. He checks for compatibility, emotional intelligence, character, consistency. If those are missing, it doesn't matter how magnetic the attraction is, it won't last, and he knows it. Loud love doesn't impress him. Real love does, the kind that whispers instead of screams, that shows up without needing applause. He doesn't want to be your everything. He wants to be complete, with or without a partner. So if love starts feeling like performance art, or if it becomes an emotional crutch, he won't lash out. He'll just leave, with calm, calculated clarity. Love is not his life's goal. It's a potential chapter in a story that's already rich and full. And if that makes him hard to reach romantically, it's only because he refuses to sell his soul for temporary connection. So no, he's not anti-love. But he'll never worship at its altar. If you love a Sigma, understand this, he doesn't need you to complete him. He needs you to meet him, match him, and move beside him, without losing yourselves in the process. Final reflection, the power lies in his silence. The Sigma male doesn't plaster his truths on t-shirts. He doesn't shout them in rooms that thrive on noise. He buries them, beneath discipline, discernment, and deliberate silence. What you see is just the outline. The real depth lives in what he doesn't say. In the things he never chases. In the exits he takes without slamming the door. His love is earned. His attention is limited. His boundaries are enforced without a single raised voice. He reads people fast. Stores receipts forever. And when he disappears, it's not cruelty, it's clarity with the volume turned down. Relationships? They come with invisible exit routes. Compliments? Scan like luggage at a security checkpoint. Popularity? A noisy liability. He doesn't fear success. He fears the crowd that follows it. He doesn't chase love. It either grows in silence, or dies before it can speak. And his happiest moments? They don't happen on camera. They happen in quiet rooms where no one's watching. Every person in his circle passed a test they didn't even know they were taking. And if they're still there, it's because they earned it. He doesn't declare boundaries. He enforces them, with surgical precision. And when things stop making sense, he walks away, without fanfare. That's the Sigma's edge. Because while the world runs on loud, needy energy and emotional debt, he operates in the margins. In the fine print. In the quiet truths that shape everything he does. If this deep dive into the Sigma mindset resonated, if you saw yourself in these truths or finally understood someone who's always been a mystery, do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss future content that cuts through the noise. Drop a like if those unspoken truths hit home, and leave a comment below. Let us know what point hit hardest, or what you'd add to this list. And share this video with someone who needs to understand the quiet power behind the Sigma male. We're not chasing algorithms here. We're just telling the truth. And if you're about that life, you're exactly where you belong.